Hello, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to House of Enlightenedhood. My name is Lena Lemos, and I am so grateful that you are here. I am really excited to talk about today's topic because I haven't gotten to talk about it that much, and I've shared it with a few of my friends who are just like, well, you're right. And I think it's something that needs to be shared, and I think it will allow us to come to some understandings to help fuel and empower our spiritual path, which is always my intention, of course. So I want to set the stage for you. You are a conscious, expansive soul who has lived thousands of lifetimes on Earth, in other star civilizations, in other dimensions. Your soul has consciously been planning, been preparing, been learning and growing to awaken and do this work in this lifetime. How have we done that? One of the ways is through our own healing work and the occurrences in our life that have forced us to look within. But another way is these seeds of wisdom that we have interdimensionally, interlifetimely planted these seeds of wisdom. And I have seen us in visions put these seeds of wisdom in crystals, in plant medicine like cannabis, mushrooms, hape, ayahuasca. I've also seen us plant them within other people. And if you're a Harry Potter fan, imagine them as Horcruxes, but like a light version of Horcruxes and not Voldemort's like souls scattered, but your own soul scattered across these different mediums. And then when we come into contact with this person or this plant medicine or this specific moment, it awakens something within us. It unlocks our ancient wisdom. It helps us remember something. We could get a flash of a past life or greater understanding to a problem that we are working with. And I've seen us do this work of planting these seeds in these specific mediums in past lives where the veil was really thin, human consciousness was higher, and we were working with a lot of star civilizations. So to me, that says times like Atlantis, Egypt, Lemuria, Avalon. These were the times where we, because of our greater understanding of our soul's journey at that time, were able to almost instill these time capsules within these things that we would then uncover in later lifetimes, like now, the one where we're doing the work to shift the entire consciousness of the planet that has never been done before. There are two examples I can think of where this is already a known understanding. The first being the Lemurian crystals, which have the barcodes on them. And Lemurian crystals, for those of you who don't know, are quartz crystals, but what makes them Lemurian is that barcode. These are codes put into the crystals by the Lemurians as a frequency, or remembering and understanding. So when you have a Lemurian crystal and you're running your thumb over the grooves of these codes, it activates something within you. The same thing happens if we're drawn to a plant medicine, or we have this gathering with people and we're having this conversation that then sparks something within us. The second example I can think of is in Michael Newton's book, Journey of Souls. Michael Newton was a hypnotherapist who in the 90s was regressing people far enough back to be in between lifetimes. And he was able to discover through his hypnosis with his clients little nuggets of wisdom of what life is like on the other side before we choose to come into this body, before we choose this lifetime. And one of the things that he discovered in his work was exactly this, that we choose through our soul contracts, choose these moments of remembering, of moments where our existence as a soul, our awakening happens in these moments. And it could be a moment where you bump into someone on the street and you look in their eyes and something about them activates a remembering within you. It could be chatting with your girlfriends and just one of your friends says something that activates something within you. We have these seeds that are planted in all these different mediums of our life that are meant to assist in our awakening. It is such a cool concept and it is so fun to think about. But the real reason that I'm sharing it is to help you detach from this current paradigm of spirituality. I love to call it the patriarchy in shiny crystals, because to me that's exactly what it is. And when we exist in a container of capitalism that thrives on the need for us to want something, we've been conditioned to want, to search, to need. A lot of that happens with the commoditization of different spiritual things, whether it's, crystals, smudge sticks, tarot cards. And it can be really easy to get caught up in the idea that I now identify as a spiritual person on a spiritual path, and therefore that means I must love crystals. And then you buy all the crystals and you start working with crystals and you think to yourself, this doesn't really resonate with me. I don't really feel called to work with crystals. And what I'm here to say is that is okay. You can still be spiritual and not be using the tools or the mediums that everyone else is. Your soul knows exactly what it needs to awaken. You have already planted all these seeds. So working with all the things that you think you should be doing to be spiritual is actually detracting from your path. Instead, I recommend just taking a step back and say, what am I called to? Everyone is doing ayahuasca, but do I feel called to do ayahuasca? Maybe and maybe not, and that's okay. We are going to all have these moments. We are all going to be continually guided to these moments that are going to awaken our soul. And the really cool thing is that these moments are oftentimes really simple. They're moments that we wouldn't think would be huge spiritual activations. Maybe they're watching our kid dance in the living room, or sitting around a bonfire, or looking up at the sky and seeing a hawk fly by, or going for a walk with your family and walking by someone on the street who says something that activates something within you. This is why presence, bringing it back to just being in the moment, is so important for our spiritual growth, because again, we've already planned this. We've already done the work. Our soul, our existence is continuously guiding us to what we need to awaken and to expand and to remember. So it's okay if you don't feel called to crystals or to plant medicine or to things that don't feel spiritual at all. Don't forget that spirituality is an industry that thrives on your idea and your need to want something that you don't have, when really all the answers are within you. You've already planned this, and it's just I just love thinking about this. And when I had this realization and I was kind of putting it all together, I'm like, wow, this is like Harry Potter Horcruxes. Like, this is literally our soul in little pieces, all around the universe that we are collecting to kind of put back into our heart center. And the more we do, the more that we're awakening. And it's just such a really empowering understanding that we are already all that we need to awaken. And that is what I am always here to try to remind you of. So let me know in the comments if you've had really cool experiences that have just awakened you into a whole new understanding and perspective. I'll share one with you before we go. The easiest, most blaring one that I can think of is last year I had this dream about this guy that I dated for like a month in high school. He was in my circle of friends in high school, and he was in my dream, and I thought, that's random. I haven't spoken to him in 10 years. He's not really on social media, so I never see him. Why am I having this dream about him? And then I was laying there and it just came to me, and it said, you were married in Lemuria. And at the time I had zero clue what Lemuria was, zero clue. And it sent me down this path that literally was Pandora's box to all this ancient wisdom and civilizations. But it was that one dream that was a seemingly ordinary dream that unlocked something within me. And it's really cool to think about the planning and the orchestration that has kind of gone into all of this before this now moment to think maybe, you know, on the other side planning. Okay, at this point, you're going to have this dream that's going to unlock that. And then at this point, you're going to see this person that's going to, it's just so cool to think about. But again, allows us to just stop trying and stop searching, because whatever is meant to help us awaken will come, I promise. I am sending you so much love, so much light on this journey, and we will talk soon.